have to stick to one while launching a campaign. You will have to select the main campaign objectives. Within ad sets, you can define the demographics. You can define what audiences you want to show, what placement goes in there, what budgets go in there. So there are multiple aspects to that once you get started with a campaign. So for example, you could launch a campaign for driving conversions. So the objective remains driving conversions. That you have multiple ad sets. Say you are selling shoes, so you would want to segregate it, probably saying in tier 1 cities you're selling shoes is one ad set, and the second ad set could be tier 2 cities. So that is one way of segregating the ad sets, within which you have separate ads. In each ad set you have separate ads. Another example could be that again you're selling shoes, but you want to split it by gender. Say you are selling men's shoes separately and women's shoes separately. So you would have that one campaign which drives conversions, within which you have an ad set for men's shoes, the second one for women's shoes, and probably a third one for kids shoes. Within this, if you want to have multiple ad sets, you can probably have something like men's shoes for tier 1 cities, men's shoes for tier 2 cities, women's shoes for tier 1, women's shoes for tier 2, and so on. So there are multiple options of segregating the ad sets, and of course the ads within that will also need to change. You don't want a women's shoes showing up in a men's shoes targeting option, right? So it depends. You will have to define what the targeting goes like, and within that you can segregate and separate each ad set. So you have multiple options within that. You can separate it by age group. You can probably use different placements on each ad set, or you could probably use different targeting options altogether. So you have multiple types of audiences, which we'll come to in the coming slides. So you can probably separate it via interest-based targeting versus a lookalike targeting, and there are multiple options there which we will see while launching our Facebook ad campaign. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is the budget allocation. In Google campaigns, how it works is that the budget allocation is only at a campaign level. But in Facebook, this is quite different. So the budget can be allocated at a campaign level too. So at a campaign level, it is called as campaign budget optimization, where you allocate the budget at a campaign level, and Facebook itself decides which ad set is performing best and which ad set to allocate more budget to. The constraint that comes with this is that sometimes some ad sets don't spend enough of your money. This is something that probably might not be very feasible. So Facebook has given you another option, which is the ad set budget optimization, where you can set budgets for each ad set, and basis that it spends accordingly. Of course, there are multiple options within the campaign budget optimization as well. So these minute details I will save it for later while we launch our first Facebook ad campaign. Before that, let's quickly look at what other terms are necessary for this particular campaign. So there is impressions, which means the number of times your ad was shown. So impression counts each time the ad was shown. A very similar term is reach. Reach means the unique number of times your ad was shown to each person. So this means that say me and you see an ad. Say you and I see the same ad. I see the ad 3 times. You see the ad twice. This means that the impression is 5, which is 3 plus 2, 5 impressions, while the reach is only 2. Reach means the unique number of people the ad was shown to. That is you and I. So it means that 2 people the ad was shown to. The reach is 2. The impression is 5. So it is important to keep that in mind to understand the metrics related to your ad. The fifth important metric is CTR, or click-through rate, which means the number of times your ad was shown versus the number of times your ad was clicked. So this indicates how effective your communication is, how effective your ad was. It's important for you to understand which ad got a higher click-through rate, for you to understand which communication is working, which image is working, which video is working, which asset is working